Okay. So you'll have to just do that little thing that says got it or whatever. All right, so thank you guys so much for hopping on. I know we have Christiana joining us in just a minute. She's just finishing up work. But I actually have notes. So I'm going to keep us as close as possible to about 15, maybe 20 minutes max. I always think that's good to know. So, you know, we won't be here all night. But did anybody get a chance to listen to that call that I sent you? You did?
Yeah,
Yay,
I did.
all of you? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank y'all so much for doing that. I really appreciate that. So what I have a couple of questions. So Wendy Schwartz, I think it was so funny, y'all, that she said, I'm from New York. I was like, you didn't have to tell us that. You're from Alabama. Didn't y'all think like she has the accent? But what is one word that you would use? I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, what is one word that you would use to describe Wendy?
Tenacity.
I love that. Yeah. What else?
Determined.
Okay.
Felt like she was open to like evolving and growing herself.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow, those are different than I kind of came up with myself. So that's interesting. I love how everybody kind of has a different take sometimes. So if you weren't already a consultant, I just have two questions. So one more for y'all. If you weren't already a consultant, would you want to join her? Is she somebody you would join? Yeah.
I think so.
Rhonda's like, I don't know.
Maybe. I
Maybe.
like you I'm with, Polly.
Well, thank you. But I mean, if you didn't know me.
No, I liked your confidence.
Yeah, exactly. So
And she was so open about her own struggles and challenges.
exactly. She was very real. She really drew us in, I think, with her I story. So there's really just 2 points that I was going to talk about tonight. And then, of course, I want y'all's feedback and jump in anytime because this is a conversation. But what I wanted to talk about are, so, you know, I know Rhonda and Kathy, y'all are just new and kind of getting started. Kathy, you and I haven't talked a lot about your I story. Rhonda and I have worked some on hers. Your I story is going to evolve, and it's something that you're going to get better and better at sharing. And she was doing a call for a team. So her I story was a little longer than the typical one, but there were some points that some key points that I kind of made note of that I think are important because you could see just by listening to her. I know for me, I was like, number one, it was a story. And they say that facts tell and stories sell. And there used to be a saying that we had in Arbonne. We would say the person who tells her story the most or his wins, meaning it's about telling people a story. And our I story should always be relatable. And what y'all all said, and like, you all said, like Kathy, you said, she shared her struggles. Right. So she was really real. She didn't just say, oh, it's all a bed of roses. And then I did this and then I did that. And she wasn't all about, you know, how she promoted fast or anything like that, even though she did promote to Region Fast, which that wasn't the thing that stood out. So a couple of key points. Number one, the person who reached out to her followed up 25 times in 2 months because that person believed that this was a solution for Wendy and her family. So it wasn't about, I think I know who her sponsor must have been, Shanna Morante, I think maybe up in New York, because she mentioned that she was a Wall Street executive and Shanna Morante was a Wall Street executive before Arbonne, which is another key point. If you think about the fact that, like, in other words, what Wendy did is she told us her story and she didn't have to, I mean, really, she could have just done that. And we were all intrigued. And if, let's say somebody that had never heard of Arbonne, if they just heard her story, they would have heard that it was not just for people who have nothing better to do. I mean, gosh, a Wall Street executive recruited her, you know, they would have heard that, that she went to this Discover Arbonne, took her entire family, friends, whatever, and they all said no, but she did it anyway because she believed it was right for her. You know, and that's really key to thinking about, you know, especially for us, that's a mindset piece for us to think like you are going to have situations in your business for sure, 100%, where you are going to feel like, I can tell you, because I still have them, where I feel like people think I'm crazy. You know, like my head tells me they think I'm crazy. I bet all my friends think I'm crazy, you know, and I've been doing it 16 years. And I mean, I'm successful in this business for sure. But, you know, I have to remember that they don't pay my bills and they aren't paying my mortgage, those people. So I love that she listened to her intuition and she did it anyway. And she said she could barely turn on a computer. And that was relating to her audience when she said, I could barely turn on a computer. And it took me 2 hours. And think about that. So it kind of was relating to us, all these things that were like, oh, you don't have to be this major technological person, you know, oh, you don't have to be somebody that thinks they can do Arbonne. She said she was a doormat of a person. So the reason I'm sharing this, we will talk about at the very end again. So just we'll come back to that. And the last thing was, she said that she was intimidated by Debbie Neal. So y'all, Debbie Neal, Rhonda and Kathy, Debbie Neal is this incredible woman in Arbonne who skyrocketed to nation super fast, but Debbie Neal had a background in corporate training for CBS. And so she already had this, you know, she was at a place personal growth wise that was completely different than me when I came into Arbonne. I needed a lot of personal growth. And so we can never compare ourselves because everybody comes in somewhere different, and it's not about, it's about the journey, and we're going to grow. Like it's like somebody mentioned that, you know, Allison, you mentioned she was willing to evolve. She was willing to grow. And that's important too. But what she did when she shared about Debbie Neal is she was able to share with us a little snippet about what's possible in this business without it being showy. She wasn't saying, oh, and I make this much money and I have this car. She said, she shared that, you know, she was making this and she had the car. And like, so the reason why I'm kind of pointing these things out is when we are working on your I story, we're going to get better and better at making it relatable, because that's really the purpose of an I story, is to relate to somebody, to say something like, you know, I was first introduced to Arbonne, you know, by somebody in one of my body pump classes. I mean, they brought me the anti-aging line, and I just was excited to try some skincare, you know. I mean, I had no idea what Arbonne was. I'd never done anything like this. So, you know, there's like 4 key steps, but we'll come back to that. I just wanted to kind of talk about how she related. And then the transition of this is, let me see what Christiana said real quick, y'all, because she's trying to get on too. Let's see. Oh, yep. Okay, she's hopping on. So the transition from that was when she said, and y'all might remember this, when she said that, so she got to Region quickly, and then she was kind of complacent, if you will, or she was happy there. There's a saying that good is the enemy of great, and you're going to hear that in your Arbonne journey too. And so it can be really easy, no matter where you are in life or Arbonne, to be like complacent and to think, I'm good. I'm good. But then we give up on our dreams sometimes. So her mom said, you don't seem excited. Like, what's going on with Arbonne? You don't seem passionate. And it was a wake-up call for her. And so this is what I really want to talk about, is the energy as a team, us. So just so y'all know, so I'm a regional vice president, and Andrea Rominger, who you'll meet on the next team call, is a regional vice president. Andrea sponsored me. Okay, so she is my sponsor, but we're both at Region. So it's kind of like we're 2 legs. And so we're called sidelines. So y'all are in my region, and then you'll meet Andrea, and we're all sidelines, and even across Arbonne. Like I have so many, I call them sideline sisters. And I love that about Arbonne. But the reason why we're on this call, and I didn't do it in conjunction with Andrea, is because this is about us as a region. And so the energy that we're going to create, all of us, our team, and there are more, they're just not on tonight, but they're watching the recording. And thank you guys for watching the recording too. We are going to create energy because we are going nation. And so this is my declaration. So just like she declared, I'm declaring. But what it means is it's not about me. It's not just about, oh, Polly's going nation. This means that y'all are going to reach your goals as well. And it's going to take work, and it's going to take us raising our energy. And that's what I want to do for our entire team. And so she listed 10 steps. We're only going to talk about one. And that's why I'm able to get this done quickly. If we were going to talk about all 10, you know, it's kind of like that whole thing about eating an apple one bite at a time or shoving it in somebody's mouth whole. If we try to like eat the whole thing whole, we're going to choke and we're going to spit it out and it's not going to taste good. But we're going to take it one bite at a time. And this is just the beginning. And so I've got a call to action, just 2 little things for y'all in a minute. But number one thing that she did, the very first thing was she said they intentionally set a goal with expectation and a no matter what attitude. And so I guess what I want to impart to you guys is that it's all going to be about our energy and our mindset. And listen, and if you're watching this, you do you, okay? This is your business. If you, this doesn't mean like, oh, I've got to be on the same path as Polly. No, of course not. You might just want to work a little bit. You might want to more hobby it, whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's all going to still be about energy. So no matter where you want to go with your business, this is no pressure. This is just saying like, hey, let's mind our mind, you know? So you don't need to be weird. You don't need to run out to people and be, Arbonne, you know, weirdo and vomit Arbonne on people. But determination, you guys said tenacity, determination, willing to grow. Those are all perfect words for what we're going to be doing. So be determined, consistent, steadfast, patient. People are going to see that. And if you're not desperate, but you're just one foot in front of the other and committed, that's what people are going to notice. Okay. Because believe me, people are watching. So especially new, if you're brand new, Rhonda and Kathy, one thing that I've heard is you want to treat this business like your baby. So when the doctor put your baby in your arms, we've all had a baby here on the call.
Beth Underwood.
Sorry, y'all. We've all had a baby on this call, so I can say this, and maybe some of you watching don't, but imagine the doctor puts your baby in your arms and you take that baby and you look at it. You don't say, well, we'll see how it goes. If you don't poop too much, and if you don't cry too much, maybe we'll keep you, right? You're committed. You're like, this is my baby, and no matter what. And trust me, and I know y'all know this, but as I get older, sorry, Allison, newsflash, but even 25, 26, 27, there's still that baby that you're still like, I'm committed. You're driving me crazy. Kathy's like, yes, Rhonda too, right? But so it's this business. I want you to think of it like your baby. It doesn't mean that you have to, you know, work X amount or whatever, but be committed. Don't think that just because, you know, one person says no, or people don't do something right away or whatever, that's okay. Like they are waiting to see if you're going to stick. I promise you they are. They're waiting.
Christiana says she's in the waiting room.
Oh, she does. Yes, thank you. Okay. Hang on one sec. Let me let her in. All right. Yay. Sorry, Christiana. I just saw you. I was in the mindset here. So really quickly, so Christiana, we are on for a few more minutes and I am recording, but just so you know, we're talking about that call with Wendy Schwartz. We talked about her eye story and what makes it really stand out and how important it is for us to also have an eye story that's relatable. And then I switched over to talk about the main point of tonight, which is the energy that okay, she's driving, yay, which is the energy that we're going to create as a team because we're going nation. And I'm declaring that, and we will be at least in qualification by December, period. Okay. So that means what I said to everybody else is it means that we're going to all together raise the energy and raise the bar for our team. Okay. So I was just telling them, Christiana, I know you've heard this before, how we don't look at our baby and say, well, if you're good and you don't poop too much and you don't cry and get me up in the middle of the night, maybe I'll keep you. No, we're committed. So it's kind of like that with this business, and it is not immediate gratification. It is not overnight, as most of us know, but this is something that if you do commit to it, I promise you, it is going to be so worth it. So This business is won or lost in your mind. It's going to be so important, whether you're just starting or you've been here for a while, that you decide to put on blinders when it comes to negative talk or self-talk. And this is a good lesson in life too. So it's going to be tempting to let your head tell you, she didn't buy anything. He didn't show up. They didn't do this. What am I doing? My family thinks I'm crazy. My friends think I'm nuts. Well, whatever. But just like Wendy, right? She was determined. So y'all said tenacity, determined, evolving. So she was determined and she had tenacity. And even though her entire family said, what are you doing? She knew, hey, I'm building something and it's important. And if I just stick and if I decide, so just decide, you guys decide. And I want you to think about, where are you going? So where do you want to go? And if you're brand new, I know this may be like, I don't know. I have no clue. What is she even talking about? I have no idea what district, area, region, nation is. There's just 4 promotion levels in Arbonne. So if you're a consultant, district is your next goal, and it's not that difficult. And so we have to, and it took me a long time, I'm going to be honest, to think in my head, like, I can do this. Like, yes, I can declare nation. I know it's going to happen, because it's exactly what she said. It's lifting the lid. If I don't say that and we don't go, then I'm not opening up space for everybody else to achieve their dreams. So, okay. So the last little things that I'm going to say is, don't look back. You're going to slow yourself down. Don't look too far ahead because you're not there yet. Focus on today and the consistent activity that you can do. So this is a relationship business and it is going to take time. People are watching, and like I said, do not let your emotions take you out. You've got to decide that you're going to do this no matter what. This is a business where instead of the big roller coaster, you want to stay on the kiddie roller coaster. So it's going to be tempting when somebody says no to be like, oh, and somebody says yes to be like, hey, yay. So instead, it's just going to be like very, very, even as you can. Just remember that you're planting seeds, okay? So often people do start this, and if they don't make money right away, they don't see things happening fast enough, they're discouraged, they want to quit. So this, like I said, it's not get rich quick, it's get rich slow. And just like that lady, Melva Kennedy, she was talking about Melva, and I've seen her speak before, and she is dramatic like Celine Dion. So just like Melva said, we're going region. And they said, have you made any money? And she said, I haven't made a dime, but I'm going to make a fortune. Think about that, right? So maybe think about, what if you had bought a franchise for $250,000? You wouldn't make money for years. You would be blood, sweat, and tears, working your what off, your tushy. But this is different. You can start making something. So just remember, you are building something great that you can leave to your family. Okay. So I hope this is making sense. That is all going to be about our mindset. And so when you start thinking those negative self-talk, all that stuff, this is going to be so important to be thinking about, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I'm doing this for whatever it is, whatever your why is. Okay. So here's what I want y'all to know. We're going to do it until, just like she did, I will be the last man standing, and I hope y'all will be with me. And I decided that 16 years ago, and I will be, and I'm still here. We will be a nation that people talk about, because we're going to build an incredible community. This is my vision of kind, loving, genuine people who lift each other up. We are in this together. We set goals with expectations and a no matter what attitude. Okay, so that's who we are, and I want us to be proud of that. And think of that. We're a tribe together, and this is who we are. And y'all, people will want to be a part of us. They will want a piece of that if we have that energy. So my call to action, this is the last thing, and I went a little longer than I wanted to, so sorry about that. Number 1 is to set your goal, write it down. If you don't know what that should be yet, that's okay. We can talk about it. So by December, and so we might have to break that into chunks depending on your goal, but by December, where would you like to be? So every month, we're going to get together. We're going to say, this is where I'm going to be, just like she did. I'm going to be a nation. I'm going to be region. I'm going to be an area. I'm going to be whatever. Okay. That's number 1. And number 2 is I just want you to think about your I story. listen to hers again, maybe, and start writing yours with feeling and relatability, because your I story is something you are going to share every single time we get on a phone call with someone and we're sharing Arbonne. Every time we do a presentation, whether it's a Facebook or whatever, you're going to share your I story. And if you're relatable, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, gosh, mine certainly isn't, but I want you to just be thinking of little snippets, just like hers. Like, how could I say this? So I story is 4 things: how you were introduced to Arbonne, what were your initial fears and hesitations about the business? What were your initial fears and hesitations? Or it could be about the products. That's okay too, because it leads in. What changed your mind? And where do you see yourself going? So let's think about how we could say that to inspire someone. And that is it. But I want y'all to hear that we are Going Nation. And I feel 100% confident and I can't wait to hear what your goals are. So my ask again is, y'all can let me know, but if you'd like to meet again next Sunday, just briefly after the team call for 15 minutes, we could, and just declare goals. That would be awesome. So y'all can let me know that. We do have our main team call next Sunday at 7:30. So I would keep it super brief, but if y'all want to just hop on and say, we're Going Nation, I'm going read it, that would be awesome. Okay. Any comments? Are y'all excited?
Super excited.
Yay.
And super glad to be part of your team, Polly.
Yeah, I'm excited to be part of your team.
I'm so excited y'all are part of my team. I love y'all. Y'all are really, I'm so blessed. I have an incredible team of people. And, I'm just like, it's time. It's time. Let's go. Hi, there's Christiana.
Yay! I'm sorry I'm so late, but yay! I'm excited.
Yay, C. I'm sorry I call you C all the time, but I'm like, I can't type out her name all the time.
Here. Everyone has a different nickname, so it's fine.
Okay, this is Christiana, and she lives in Missouri.
Michigan.
I was like, I know it's one of those states.
No, you're close. They're good.
Yeah. So Christiana, Kathy, and Rhonda are new. So boy, you guys being new, y'all hopped on right at the right time, huh? Well, I just want y'all to know that this really, I'm so excited, and I'm ready, and I'm ready to help y'all reach your goals. And that's what it's all about. So let's just figure out what that is, and I'll see y'all next Sunday. And then if you, of course, I'm here to help everybody. I know Rhonda and I have a Facebook party Wednesday night. And so if you have any question, I really want us to be in contact. So, all right.
Can I talk to you about that after we get through Zooming?
Yes, I have just a few minutes after. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good
Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. I'll stay on, Rhonda.
Okay. I
bye,
just want
Kathy.
to know, I didn't check my messages while I was driving or whatnot. Do I have the link? I really don't know how to link people. I mostly have people's cell phone numbers, which I can send the link to.
So
you have the-
normally, well, I haven't set it up yet because yours is on Wednesday. So normally I set it up 2 days in advance. But
tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow I'll have yours all set up, and then you can send them the link. You can text it to them, but are you not friends with them on Facebook?
Some of these people know.
Go ahead and find them and friend them. Find them on Facebook and friend them.
I've been doing that, but they haven't checked their Facebook.
Well, text them first and just say, hey, I'm going to have a Facebook event and I sent you a friend request. Can you accept my friend request?
Okay.
Okay, so maybe that's what you could be doing in the meantime, and then I'll get it set up tomorrow. I've had 2 other ones that I've been doing follow up on, and I've got one Tuesday, and then yours is Wednesday. So I'll get yours set up, and we'll get going tomorrow. And I'll send
problem.
you. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm working tomorrow, but I was going
Okay.
to start sending them out as ASAP.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah,
Alright.
I will definitely do that. I've got a couple of people that just, for whatever reason, I don't think they are very active on Facebook, that I sent last week friend requests. And
Okay,
I just realized we weren't friends on Facebook, but
right. Just,
So-
yeah, I would probably just text him and say, hey, I'm having this Facebook event. I would love for you to be a part of it. I sent your friend request. Do you mind, just accepting? I mean, if you know them well enough, I'm sure they'll be glad to.
yeah, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Go get a shower.
Oh yeah, I feel so much better. All right. Thank you, Polly. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
Rhonda. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.